CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon and welcome to our first show of 2012. Police are investigating the discovery of human remains in the River Valley, just west of downtown Lethbridge. A person walking down the hill on 3rd Avenue South into Indian Battle Park noticed wildlife activity on the south side of the coulee and discovered the remains of a man. The remains were located away from the path in an area covered by thick brush and weren't visible from the road. Members of the Canadian Search Dog Association were brought in to search the area. Police say the scene was consistent with a person sleeping or living in the coulees.
The initial response to a file of this nature is by our uniformed members, but insofar as ensuring the integrity of the investigation, we called members of our major crime scene to attend. Major crimes investigators have drawn the initial conclusion that it doesn't appear suspicious, but they're certainly not ruling out anything until they've completed their investigation. They've got a scene at this point, but they don't have the history of the individual and they don't have the forensic data that will be provided to them from the medical examiner's office.
Police tell us the remains have been tentatively identified and they're being transported to the Calgary Medical Examiner's office for an autopsy. A memorial will be held in Lethbridge in 2 weeks for the victims of last month's triple murder-suicide near Claresholm. On December 15th, Derek Jensen gunned down Tabitha Steppel, Mitch McLean, Tanner Craswell, and Shayna Conway before turning the gun on himself. Conway was shot 3 times, but she survived. She's recovering in a Calgary hospital. Mitch and Tanner, both from PEI, were attending the Prairie Baseball Academy in Lethbridge. Tabitha grew up in Lethbridge. A memorial to honor the 3 victims and celebrate Conway's recovery progress will be held January 14th at Lethbridge's NMAX Centre. It will start at 3 p.m. and is open to the public. The event will also stream online so that people in PEI and across Canada can watch. We'll have more details later this week. And a Prince Edward Island hockey team is stepping up to help the families of 2 young Charlottetown men who were murdered. The PEI Rocket has set up an online benefit auction to help cover the cost of headstones for Mitch McLean and Tanner Craswell. Some of the items up for grabs include ice time with the team and autographed NHL jerseys. McLean and Craswell were on their way home to PEI for the holidays when they were killed. The website is peirocket.com. The auction is open until midnight on January the 14th. Other groups are trying to fundraise for the families as well through public skates, concerts, and runs. Well, police are investigating after a robbery at a North Lethbridge gas station. It happened around 6 a.m. at the Gas King on the corner of Stafford Drive and 5th Avenue North. Officers say a man threatened the clerk with a knife and made off with some cash. The suspect is described as white, around 25 to 30 years old, about 6 feet tall, and he was wearing jeans and a red hoodie with white writing on it. The Major Crimes Unit is investigating. And RCMP are investigating after a complaint that 2 dogs were poisoned near Nanton. Mounties say on the afternoon of December 28th, the dogs ate meat that had been laced with a chemical poison. And it happened at a rural residence southeast of Nanton. The dogs were treated at a local vet clinic and are now recovering. RCMP say anyone with information about this incident is asked to contact the Nanton detachment. Here's Dory Rossiter with our first forecast of the year for us. And let me guess, it's going to be windy?
Right on, Jackie. Like that never happens in Lethbridge. No. Yeah, I know. More wind is on the way. We're set up in that Chinook mode, low pressure center off the coast, area of high pressure in existence as well. And the gradient becomes very tight between these 2 systems. So yeah, batten down the hatches. There's more wind on the way.
Thanks, Dory. Well, it's a girl. The Chinook Regional Hospital welcomed the first baby of 2012 early Sunday morning. Miranda Walden was born at 1:01 a.m. She's the second daughter of Michelle and Arnold Walden of the Greenwood Colony near Fort Macleod. Miranda arrived 10 days before her due date and weighed in at 6 pounds 4 ounces. Michelle says when she went into labor at 9 p.m., she had a feeling that she could give birth to the New Year's baby. So did staff at the hospital.
Were waiting for us kind of, and they were excited and told us that it could be the New Year's baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty exciting.
In Medicine Hat, a woman gave birth to a New Year's baby for the second time in a row. To be the New Year's baby, Grace Olivia Ketchison arrived 365 days and 4 minutes after her older brother Jack, who was Regina's 2011 New Year's baby. Their parents, Bobby Joe and Curtis Ketchison, say both Grace and Jack were premature babies and weren't due until February. Well, thousands of people celebrated New Year's Eve at Exhibition Park this year. The 16th Annual Family Fest ran Saturday night. The free event targets the under 12 age group, but gives people of all ages a safe, fun place to celebrate the new year. There was dancing, face painting, astro jumps, and more. Organizers say they would like to send a big thank you to all their volunteers who helped make this event a success. Some people in Lethbridge are using the changing of their calendar to make a change in their lives. The most popular resolutions don't come as a surprise. Many people are promising to eat and drink less, to exercise more, and stop smoking. But others say they don't make New Year's resolutions.
No, I never make New Year's resolutions. I don't know. I just try to do the right thing all the time, and yeah, I have got no New Year's resolutions.
Well, I'm a diabetic, so I'm going to change onto a different type of a drug that works a little better. And it has some spin-off values in that it helps with weight reduction.
I've never kept promises like that, so there's no point really doing a fake one on New Year's Eve just because it's New Year's Eve. So, yeah, if you can't keep the promise, you shouldn't make it in the first place.
If I had to make a New Year's resolution, I think I would make one to be closer with my family and make them proud.
Now, also on the top 10 list of resolutions this year are finding a job, volunteering more, and texting less. Well, as expected, New Year's Eve was a busy night for Lethbridge Regional Police and Operation Red Nose. They had a record-breaking night. New Year's Eve was the busiest evening in the program's history. Volunteers provided more than 150 rides that night and a total of more than 1,400 rides this holiday season. Operation Red Nose helps keep impaired drivers off the roads by offering people a safe ride home after night out. The program raises thousands of dollars for Pronghorn Athletics each year. Meanwhile, Lethbridge City Police responded to 200 calls New Year's Eve alone. And the Lethbridge Regional Police Service will start the new year by re-evaluating its organization from the top down. Police Chief Tom McKenzie says the department will have to make some tough decisions over the next couple of months to work within the budget set out by Lethbridge City Council at the end of last year. Council approved spending to maintaining existing services, but they rejected a proposal to fund 10 new crime-busting initiatives at a cost of nearly $1.1 million. Chief McKenzie says there isn't a lot of growth opportunity, but the budget allows the department to maintain existing service levels and create a support shift to put extra officers on the street when it's busy.
We recognize now that we have to review our organization. We have to take a look at the people from the top down and the units that they're in and the tasks they're performing and see what capacity we have to add tasks to people that are already quite busy and committed, or to moving some people from different units. Maybe there's some services that will drop in order that we can provide other services, and that's just the tough discussions we're going to have over the course of the next couple of months.
The police service will be able to hire 7 officers over the next 3 years, including 2 in 2012 and 2 more in 2013. The department is also planning to implement a new shifting pattern developed by the Police Association that allows officers to be deployed in a better way. Environmental groups and some residents of the Beaver Mines area say they are disappointed that Premier Alison Redford hasn't ordered a delay in logging plans for the Castle Special Management Area. Area residents say they've been told Spray Lake sawmills intend to start logging within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Surveys found more than 3/4 of the local residents oppose the logging, and they want to see wildland park laws used to protect areas like the castle. The Sierra Club says that logging plans threaten habitat for grizzly bears and impact more than 200 species that are listed as rare or at risk, and they warn it will also affect small business, tourism, and recreation.
And it comes down to governments looking at a spring election, and if enough voters phone and indicate what constituency they live in, that seems to be the only thing that's going to catch the ear of the government now on keeping the castle intact. So everybody who camps or plans on camping there in the future and doesn't want to be in amongst logging trucks or clear cuts, it's time for the individuals to speak up.
Environmental groups are urging consumers and retailers to boycott lumber that is harvested from the castle area. Well, it was used to be that if you wanted travel information, you stopped by a visitor information center and then picked up a bunch of pamphlets and brochures. But now, Kootenay Rockies Tourism is using technology to put everything the area has to offer into the palm of your hand. Kimberly Davidson explains.
For anyone looking to visit the Kootenays, Now, there's an app for that.
This is the future of travel. It's everything at your fingertips all the time.
The free downloadable application for smartphones has over 1,200 pages of information about recreational opportunities, attractions, accommodations, and restaurants.
When you're looking at making reservations, for instance, you don't have to dial the number. It's just a one-button push to get through to the restaurant or the hotel that you're wanting to contact for that night's stay or for a meal. You can book your tea times. You can do everything right within this app.
Another tool of the app is the Near Me button. Whatever the traveler is interested in, by choosing the Near Me button, it will show up as a push pin on a map and offer driving or walking directions via GPS.
Well, I think it's going to be adapted right away. There's so many smartphones out in use now, and I think this summer is summer 2012. This is going to be useful to thousands and thousands of people right off the bat.
And special events like festivals, rodeos, or community days that people may want to plan a vacation around will come to users through what's called a push, a direct-to-mobile notification. The idea is for Kootenay Rockies tourism to market itself to a new demographic in a way that they can relate to. Kimberly Davidson, CTV News, Kimberly.
And on the financial front, markets were closed on both sides of the border today. Straight ahead, though, Dory tells us what to expect in the way of that wind.